Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's training. My name is Tom Beal. We have the one and only David Lemon with us here today as well. And you joining us from around the world, you are in for an amazing treat today. David, I'll show him this amazing masterpiece here. How do we bring that to the front screen? Okay, so I'll get into this more, but I'm pretty excited about my artistic skills. As you can see, I was going to be an artist, but I decided to be a marketer instead. So this is you. Wherever you are right here today, whatever your results are, whether it's just starting out, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, 100,000, million, 10 million, whatever you are, we're going to get you here. That bigger version of you, how to get from where you are to where you want to be. And obviously you can tell, artist, that was in my blood. Joking, we're going to have some fun as well. So let me move the slide to see who is joining us today. But before I do that, we are using this awesome tool called StreamYard. So if you haven't done so yet, you only need to do it once. But when you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, if you're joining us on Facebook, if you haven't done that yet, I won't be able to see your name. So go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. And once you do that, it will go from Facebook user to me being able to see your name, which leads us to today's topic of training. And then I want to know where you're joining in from. So as I'm talking, go ahead and post in where you're joining in. Right now, Facebook user, it says, can you see who I am this week? And it's Facebook user. So my guess is telepathically, that might be Dean. I can see Facebook user, but correct me if I'm wrong, if that's you, Dean, or someone else who is Facebook user. So go ahead and type in the chat where you are joining in from. So if you're here in the United States, let me know where. Is there a YouTube link? Yes, we do have a YouTube link. David may be able to get that to you. Dean, yes, it's you. Okay, Dean. Well, I had you on last week, so technology is always going to be that bane that always have some challenges. So there's three words. We'll start with this. So as you're stating in the chat where you're joining in from, I'll say hi to you in a second. But there's three words I learned in the United States Marine Corps: improvise, adapt, and overcome. There's always going to be challenges. There's always going to be problems. And just have to know that going into it, especially when you're dealing with the online world with all of the moving parts and the gadgets and the things trying to work together. There's always going to be problems. There's always going to be challenges. You just continually improvise, adapt, and overcome. For every problem, there is a solution. All right, so let me jump up here and see who we got. We got a lot of people. Christine, hello. Good to see you here. Dean, we saw you here. James, how's it going? Wolfgang, hello. Rick, how's it going? James from Scotland, awesome. Facebook user from New Jersey. So if you Facebook user from New Jersey, look at the screen. I only see Facebook user. If you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, I'll be able to see your name. So whoever the Facebook user is from New Jersey. Ben, from my bed at the fire station. Well, Ben, thank you for being a first responder. That's not an easy job. I mentioned I was in the Marine Corps. Well, I tip my hat to firefighters, to the ambulance crew, the EMTs, as well as the police officers. So thank you for saving lives and doing what you do. David is here with us. He posted that YouTube link in there for us. Miss P from London. All right. Very good. Good to see you here. And I got to learn how to scroll this thing properly. All right, there we go. We got New Zealand in the house. Peter's here from New Zealand. Hank, a Dutch guy from China. That's an interesting combination, Hank. Hank. I said Hank. Hank, a Dutch guy from China. I've been to the Netherlands. I love it over there. But yeah, not a combo that we see often. A Dutch guy from China. Facebook user from Australia. You Facebook user from Australia, I see you as Facebook user. If you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, I'll be able to see your name inside this StreamYard flow here. And there we go. Logan from Florida. All right, I'm in Florida too, Logan. Good to see you here. Michael G, Michael Glowacki, good afternoon. Greece, Doris Callow from Greece. All right, I've yet to go to Greece. I've always wanted to. Michael G is from Wisconsin. Welcome from Wisconsin. Sean, hello. Good to see you here. Hello again from New Jersey. It still shows as Facebook user, so there may be one of those technical glitches. If you went to the page, sometimes it happens. Rick from London, Ontario, Canada. Well, that's confusing when I first read it because London is not in Canada, but it is if you're in London, Ontario, Canada. So welcome, Rick. Showcat, how you doing? Good to see you here. Christine, USA is in the house. Hank, smiley face. Bruno from France. Oh, bonjour from France. Je m'appelle Thomas. It's about as far as I go there, but almost as impressive as my my artistic abilities. I bet you passed my birth home, Hank. Well, I did a lot of walking around Amsterdam, a lot of walking. Showcat from Saudi Arabia. Wow, that is awesome. Welcome from Saudi Arabia. Good to have you joining here. Ken from Sacramento and Jorg from Germany. All right, so we're in the house. If you've been with me for any of the weeks prior, you know we like to have some fun. We like to keep it real. We like to stick to the basics, and we like to get results. So this is going to be a quick, down dirty training to help you get from where you are to where you want to be using GroovePages. So last week we went and dove into GrooveSell. Today we're going back to GroovePages, and we're gonna keep it simple, and we're gonna build the foundation. And on that note, so I've heard where you're joining in from. If you've been with me on any of the previous weeks, I'm here every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, this same time that we're starting here today. There's a challenge at the end of each week, and that challenge is to get your page created and have it ready for these live trainings. And for you who have it live and have that page created since last week inside of GroovePages, you can go ahead and post your URL here, and it can be a domain that you redirected using the tools we'll be showing you inside GroovePages, or it can just be the GroovePages URL, which is going to be your own unique URL that leads to your opt-in page or sales page. So if you did create a page since last week, or if you have a page you've created in GroovePages you want me to take a look at and give some insights and a brief overview on, go ahead and post it in the chat, and David will be there and he'll give me a heads up inside the private chat. So I'm paying attention as we get the training going on. Later on, I'll circle back and see any of the pages that are submitted. So post your URL of any pages that you want me to take a look at. It can be an opt-in page, it can be a sales page made within GroovePages. And also, got a couple amazing updates that I want to jump in and show you. This is another resource, right? So we've got numerous resources. We'll get into some of the other resources later, but inside this Facebook group, I'm going to show you a little tip that I'm not sure everybody knows about, but it's a little simple tip that will allow you to stay up to speed with what's happening inside GroovePages. So now I got to make sure I do this right, and I'm going to switch. I'm going to stop that screen share, and I'm going to share screen, my entire screen, and I'm going to switch. Oh, I got to highlight it, share it. See, it's always a learning process. And now I'm over in the GroovePages. Now you should see it here. So if you see it here, just to make sure I'm doing it right, give me a 3 in the chat. Yep, looks like it's there. Give me a 3 in the chat if you can see. Now you can see inside the Facebook page. Give me a 3 in the chat. All right, I need your interaction there. 3, okay, oops, now you don't. Now it's there. Okay, David, all right, good, you can see it. All right, so here's the deal. So when you go to the Facebook page, basically you just go up in your toolbar there, you type Groove, if you start typing in Groove, you're gonna find it. Groove Digital, official Groove Funnels, GroovePages, GrooveSell, GrooveCart. You click on that and you enter. So this is where you'll enter. It brings you to this page. You click on the main group. You should already been joined. As you're here with us for tonight's training, you should already be a member of this Facebook group. If you're not, simply go to that URL and click on the button to join the group. They validate everybody to make sure that you are part of this. Now, once you're here, as with any group, it's going to have the most important. So some of the things up here are maybe tagged and posted up there for a reason. But right now we're at the top, but a whole bunch of other posts are there. And it takes a while to scroll to find something that you want to be, possibly looking for. So over in the left-hand side here, it says search this group. I'm just going to type in Mike Filsaime, Filsaime, hit enter. And there's going to be, you'll see it takes a second to process all that. And you'll see a whole bunch of posts by Mike. And right away, it brings you to some of the most important updates. And we're going to get into a couple of these here, but I just wanted to show you, here's the simple way. Instead of endlessly scrolling through the Facebook group, just simply go over to that corner, type in Mike Filsame, because he's the one that posts a lot of the updates that you'll want to keep an eye on. And so I'll just scroll through and give you an idea. But so for instance, right here, well, not that one. Where is that one? I'll scroll down, big update, funnel addict. There we go. Backers. Oh, here it is. Any page. So here's one as example. I'm not going to show the video. You can scroll and find it. But here's one that he says import funnels. How about import any page on the internet? Here's your sneak peek. So just to give you an idea, when you click on this, since you're in this search for Mike, it's only going to pop it up so you can see it in this little pop-up here. And you'll be able to watch this brief video. I think it's only a couple minutes that shows what's coming soon. So Mike, obviously, as one of the co-founders, he gets to see the what's coming dev version of GroovePages, GrooveSell, and all the Groove assets. But he's going to show you live how he goes to one of his old pages that was created in ClickFunnels, gets the URL, types, paste the URL into this, and using what's coming soon as to where we'll all have access to this, we literally can go to the internet, find any URL, paste it in, and it will pull into your GroovePages. Like, whoa, give me a 5 if you like the sound of that. Type of 5 in there if you like that. Now, if you've been following the updates that Mike's been posting, he mentioned this a couple of the calls ago, but he showed this, and it's quite impressive. So this literally is going to help save you huge amounts of time of, instead of piecing together and modeling someone else's site, literally taking the URL, paste it in there. Now, obviously, we did a training. Okay, so Hank, Omar, Eldon, Facebook user, Dwight, Facebook user, awesome. Now, with that said, we did a training several weeks ago, and we'll show you how to access all the old trainings and things like that, which definitely talked about one of the no-nos, which is to plagiarize, right? So this doesn't give any of us the ability and go ahead and approval to go plagiarize a competitor or someone who you don't even know, a random person. But it does give you the ability to bring in their web page format, and then you modify it accordingly. So I think we all know that just because it allows the import, that doesn't mean you have the authority to violate copyright, all those types of things. And so you to stay out of any legal issues, they're going to be ironing out some of the import features so that it won't bring in images. Because what a lot of people aren't aware of, and we talked about this in some previous weeks' trainings, a lot of people think if you find an image online, just do a Google search or someone else's site, oh, well, I found it online, so I can use it. No. Those images many times are purchased or leased, in essence, from certain companies. And if you use their copyrighted images, you're going to get a letter in the mail of them demanding money. And it's a whole racket that you don't want to get involved in. So I'm saying this to know that we do have a training that goes into more depth about how to protect yourself from infringing on copyright and not getting in any legal issues with this. But this saves huge amounts of time. All right, so there we go. So that's one thing that I wanted to point out, that it's difficult in groups to scroll and find all that type of stuff. Here's the quick way how to find the big updates. And one other thing that I want to show you is, I think this one. Yeah, so this is the official GrooveFunnels software update thing. So you'd want to take a look at this, and this pretty much outlines all of the recent updates and the upcoming major rollouts. And this is also inside the Facebook group. Mike's the one who posts it, and you can scroll down and read it. I'm not going to go into detail in today's training, but I wanted to make sure you know that this is one of the major resources that is available to you that shows all the stuff coming out. So as it says here, some major rollouts coming in the next 10 days. Groove Video, Groove Member, Groove Mail are going to be out. Super exciting. As far as GroovePages, what we're meeting here for today, since we met last week, here's the list of things that have been improved and fixed. It's a continual process that's always being improved. So this gives you a finger on the pulse as to what's happening, and then what's to come. You can take a look at what's to come. So this is one of the more important pieces of the Facebook group that you can plug into. And as you see, the title there is Official GrooveFunnels Software Update. And I found that, from going to the side and typing in might feel same. So I want to share that with you, and just let you know that that's one of the many resources. We'll tap more into some of the other resources here in a little bit, but let's jump back over to some training. All right. Okay, so now this is where I'm going to get my magical pen out, and we are going to get into some good stuff as far as artistic, right? I'm gonna be doing some drawing here for you. All right, so before we jump into GroovePages, which we are, and as I already stated, let me just take a peek in here to make sure there's no questions coming in before I get focused on this real quick. All right, okay, cool. URL to my WordPress site, imported Groove. Okay, if you've imported something to Groove and you have a GroovePages page you want me to take a look at later, yes, paste that URL that's created inside GroovePages, whether it's an opt-in or a sales page. Paste it in there. David will send me a private chat. Looks like he sent me some already. Cool. So we got someone in here already from Dean. All right, very good. So I'll get to that once we get past some training and before we jump into GroovePages. So let me just step into what today's training is. It's how to get you from where you are to where you want to be. And where you are, this is your starting point. And that's unique for each and every one of us. Some of us have, just got an email autoresponder service and there's 0 opt-ins there. Others have a few hundred, others have a few thousand, some have tens of thousands, some have hundreds of thousands. Your starting point is your unique starting point, and same with your results. Right now, you may be starting in a new niche. And here's something that happens quite frequently. And working with Mike Filsaime from 2006 until 2011, and then with Rich Sheffrin from 2011 until 2014, and being a part of, Mike and I were a part of the syndicate with Mike, myself, Andy Jenkins, Brendan Burchard, Ryan Dice, Yannick Silver, the whole, the who's who in the internet marketing game. We've witnessed and participated in hundreds of millions of dollars of results produced online. And so it doesn't really matter what your starting point is, but what I want to say is some people were in a niche that they've done millions in, and now they transitioned into another niche or another business. And just because you have that track record, yes, you have some expertise and you have some prowess as to what's going to work and what's not, but it's a new start. And it's always that escape velocity. Remember, like, to get the space shuttle out of the atmosphere, they have to have those huge amounts of fuel on either side. Back in the old days, we're talking the old space shuttle stuff, not the new Elon Musk type of stuff. Remember how it used to have the space shuttle attached to the huge rocket and with the fuel things next to it? Well, that fuel's needed to get the initial escape velocity. Once it gets out of the atmosphere, those fuel things burnt all up to get out of the atmosphere, and it doesn't need that much fuel to maneuver once it's out of the atmosphere. Similar to starting any new startup. So just because you had previous success, if you're starting something new, it still takes that escape velocity. So whatever your starting point is, you have to know very clearly where we are and where your starting point is and where you're wanting to go. Where am I and where am I wanting to go? That circles back to Uber, right? Uber, prior to this crazy scenario that we've witnessed this year, was a tremendously fast growing business, and it needed 2 pieces of information from each of us. Where are you and where do you want to go? Their business wouldn't go that well if they didn't know one of those 2 things. Same thing applies to me. Same thing applies to you. You have to be very clear. Here's where I am. Here's where I'm looking to go. And then, similar to Uber, Uber uses a lot of the technology, the GPS stuff. You need to work it out from the desired outcome. So your end in mind, that desired outcome, that end in mind, you have to reverse engineer it and say, okay, if I want to get there, what's the milestones? The first milestone, the second milestone, the third milestone, etc. And basically you reverse engineer it and say, okay, what's my first step? Once that's done, what's the next step? Etc., etc. So you reverse engineer it. When we circle back and we deal with what we're going to be talking about today using GroovePages, it really comes down to two things. And then when we integrate it with GrooveSell, which we talked about last week, that integrates the other element to it. So step number one that you can do with GroovePages is grow your email list, right? And let's take a second to discuss that. So you grow your email list by creating an opt-in page. And if your goal, if you're here and you're starting, your goal is to break it down and think, okay, A, I can grow my email list, or two, I can earn a sale. And the reason that you want to think of it in this order is, do you think it's easier to create an offer that people are willing to give you their email address versus reaching in their pocket and pulling out their credit card and giving you money? Right? So let me just break that down. So what are you talking about here, Tom? Like, the reason that this part is here is because it's part one that leads to part two. There's this thing that happens in marketing when you present your offer. Some people don't know you. KLT. KLT. Know, like, trust. They may not know you enough or well enough to want to trust you with their money. So they need to get to a feel of who you are, what you stand for, and if you deliver on your promises. So you make a promise. Hey, you give me your email address, and I'm going to give you this. And that is a sale. And there's a quote that we'll get to down here, and you might want to write this one down. Never underestimate what it takes to earn a sale. Once again, never underestimate what it takes to earn a sale. And most people, when they hear that, think strictly dollars and cents. But I'm reminding you that it's a sale. You have to have in a sale the value outweigh the investment. What's the investment? Them giving you their email address. And you have to have enough value to where they say, man, I want that. And yeah, I'm giving my real email address. And I'm saying that because I want you to think, how many times have you wanted something and given a fake email address or an email address that you never check, right? We don't want that. When we're growing our email list, we don't want those. What do we want? We want their best, their primary, the email that they check and they pay attention to, right? So these are the two things. From getting from where you are to where you want to go, you have to break it down into these two steps. Step one, grow a list. Step two, earn a sale. Even though this is earning a sale, the only investment is their email address. But just like we talked about, never underestimate what it takes to earn a sale. You also have to never underestimate what it takes to get their email address. See how quick? That's a Marine Corps training right there. Give me a 1 if you like my cat-like reflexes. Give me a 1 if you're still with me. If you're liking the training and you witnessed my cat-like reflexes. This is live, and hey, I'll bust out ninja moves if I have to for you guys. I'm here for you, and we'll do whatever it takes. David, give me the 1. Thank you. David complimented me on my artist ability, artistic skills earlier. So Hank, John, yes, thank you. Good to see you here. Hank, Linda, Eldon, good. Facebook user. Michael, great catch. Yes, see, the Marine Corps taught me something. I was paying attention in that training, obviously. Smiley face there from Facebook user. Ninja skills, thank you for noticing, John. Yes. Ridwayne, 1 there. Showcat, 1. Nelly, 1. Eldon, go ninja. That's right. Brickash, lots of 1s there. Kieran, 1. Shelly, 1. Yafrin. All right. If I can figure out how to scroll. Cool. So y'all are paying attention. This is good stuff. And I'm demonstrating some ninja skills. This is how we do it. Christine, Peter, Facebook user, Linda, Facebook user, Ura, Semper Fi, Ninja Moves, Michael, Kieran, Kristen, Shelly, loved it. You're super amazing. Thank you. Thank you. So we have to get in the zone, right? And we have to be willing to not just jump into GroovePages without having some sort of plan, right? And I'm bringing this up from my own experience. Have you ever sat at your computer and for hours, sometimes a whole day, and when you're done, you're like, whoa, did I actually do anything, right? You did a lot of paper shuffling, but as far as getting things done, and I'm saying me, and this is from real world experience, I've spent hours, I've spent a day on, what I felt was working, but I didn't even have the mini plan. At the end, I'm like, did I get anything done today? And what did I actually do? All too often, Dean says yes. And Facebook user strategy first always. Yes. So, and we'll talk a little bit more about this before we actually dive into GroovePages, but I would recommend, versus just going in there and playing around, you have an idea like, hey, my desired outcome is by the time I leave, I have a new opt-in page for this, whether it's a domain name that you have or this niche that you're in. I'm going to have a new domain for this product or service, and think through, okay, in order to earn that sale of them giving me their email address, what is my offer? Do I have all the assets necessary? So when I go in there, I can create the headline, import the video, get the opt-in page set up, all these things, versus going in and kind of haphazardly going at it. So I think everybody's with me there. That's happening with me too, Karen. Yeah, this is called life. No one's exempt from it. Got to love Facebook users. You can love more if you authorize. Yes, StreamYard.com/Facebook. Yes. Linda, yes. Mark 1. Okay, cool. So y'all are with me. And so step by step, and let me just circle that. One of the things you may have heard, one of the two things that I always like to reiterate and stress is, and let me know if you've heard this, the money is in the list. Have you ever heard that? Give me a 7 if you've heard the money is in the list. And I'll keep talking as I see here, but the money's in the list. And look, a lot of you are joining on Facebook. The reason Facebook is a multi-billion-dollar company is their list. We are their asset. You and I are their asset. The more assets they build, in the tune of billions of people spending hours a day each, with billions of hours a day being spent on their platform, that's their asset. That's how they're able to do it. That's how they're able to be that multiple billion-dollar company. It's because their list. And I'm saying this to solidify in your mind that the money is in the list is not something you just hear and in one ear out the other. You're thinking, look, it's an asset. Every time you get an email address and you grow your email list, you're growing your asset. That's part one. Now, something that's coming soon with Groove Mail is going to be part 2, but in the interim, you probably are using another email autoresponder service that's capturing those email addresses and allowing you to communicate with them. Going back to this know, like, trust, KLT, if you're married or in a relationship and you don't speak to that person, how well is that relationship going to work out? Are they going to know you, like you, and trust you if you're not communicating with them, if you're not talking with them? It's a rhetorical question, but I think you get it, and hopefully you catch the humor in that. Well, similarly, if you just grow your list and then abandon it and they never hear from you, it's not going to be as valuable as an asset. Now, I'm raising my hand on this too, and this is something I'm guilty of, and many of top marketers are guilty of, is they're so focused on, let me just grow the list, let me just grow the list. And they forget or neglect to build the relationship with the list. So in growing your list, there has to be, well, if you want to get there as quickly as possible, there has to be nothing, but you could choose to consider these things that I'm going to bring up to you. So as you're growing your list, there's 2 things that you can do with these new email subscribers. One, put them in an autoresponder series. And when I say this, a lot of people think, well, geez, how long? 3 months or a year? Whoa, time out. An autoresponder series can be the welcome email and maybe 2-3 emails after that for the next few days, or it could be a 7-day process or 4. It's up to you to distinguish when they come on board, what's that relationship flow, and how can you get the know, like, trust factor, and also escalate them to step number 2 is earn the sale. And I'm going to share with you something that when Mike first stepped on the scene, Mike Filsaime stepped on the scene, and I crossed paths with him in January of 2005. He was still at the car dealership in January 2005 when I met him. And we crossed paths briefly. We had some follow-up. And that's part 2. The money's in the list. Part 2 is the money's in the follow-up. So I met him, and I actually had sent him a video that was pretty darn good at the time. This is in January 2005. I paid a lot of money to build this cool video platform. And so he remembered me when I met him again in March. And we became friends, and we went to dinner. We went around San Antonio, etc. But he already had great results by giving stuff away for free. That's the key. Like, this is the beauty. And here we are meeting in this platform, all in the Groove family, GroovePages, GrooveSell, specifically for today's call and training. But the reason that they've had such ridiculously amazing success and growth is exactly what Mike did back in 2004, 2005, 2006, and beyond, giving away highly valuable stuff for free, and then having offers that are absolutely irresistible. So when Mike would first start speaking, I was there in March, and I think March of 2005 was the first time he spoke about what he was doing to produce multiple tens of thousands of dollars of results each month of profit, while he had recently just left the car dealership. And that's a whole nother awesome story. But he told people, look, I'm earning at that time multiple 6 figures by giving stuff away for free. And if you just let that sink in, he's at that time multiple 6 figures. He went on to earn multiple tens of millions of dollars. And now this company, by pretty much embracing the similar process, giving stuff away for free, due to this crazy times, the whole coronavirus thing led to the free offer. It wasn't even on the plan, but they improvised, adapted, and overcame that scenario, wanted to give back, and lo and behold, in reverting back to, you know what, I want to be a millionaire by giving stuff away for free. Let that sink in. Isn't that cool? And you don't have to be a millionaire. Let me just tell you this. You can live a pretty amazing life, and you already may be, if you're earning a few $100,000 a year. Life's pretty good at the few $100,000. You know, you're doing pretty good. So it doesn't have to be the millions. It doesn't even have to be the few $100,000s. You know, whatever your number is, a couple thousand a month, 10,000 a month, 20,000, whatever that is, it's possible. And if you embrace what we're talking about here and you wrap your mind around it, it's kind of counterintuitive, but in a way, it doesn't get much easier. Versus what we'll talk about is what a lot of people do that don't know these secrets, that don't study the success of Mike Filsaime, the success of GroovePages, GrooveSell, and the whole Groove family. So let me ask you this. Give me a 5 in the chat if you would like to make an amazing lifestyle for you and your family by giving stuff away for free. Give me a 5 in the chat if that sounds pretty cool to you. Absolutely. Thanks, Groove. Yep. Hello, guys. Make the people. Yep. Keep the people happy, Michael. Yep. Money's in the list. The money's helping out people on your list. The money is help. Yep. 5. We can see you now. Thank you, David. There you are. Facebook user 5. David Lemon 5. Top recommendations 5. Eldon 5. Kieran 5. Facebook user 5. Hank doing. Omar absolutely. All right, new comments. Here we go. All right, cool. So y'all, isn't that pretty cool? So Eric, Bonnie, Facebook user, Nelly, Facebook user, Ridwayne, Peter, Shelley. Yes. So this all goes back to a famous quote. Prakesh, Shelley, Facebook user 5. Facebook user 5. This goes back to one of the quotes, Showcat 5. One of the quotes from Napoleon Hill. And this is basically the summary of his amazing book, Think and Grow Rich. And this one sentence pretty much summarizes it. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. And when I first heard that all those years ago, it's like, what? That's it? Like, come on, give me some more meat. No. This really breaks down the secret of life. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So for people that don't know, you can make life-changing income by giving away stuff free to a hungry target audience that's eager for that and would be willing to pay for that stuff, but you're giving it away for free. It boggles, wait a minute, that's not possible. You can't become wealthy or live a life at that level by giving stuff away for free. Well, you can if you follow it up with the know, like, trust, and earn a sale. And that leads to some people, I dot R. All right. I apologize for my left-handed chicken scratch. Well, that's IR. And that's an irresistible offer. And it's actually, so anyway, that didn't work well. IO, irresistible offer. Irresistible offer. And you've, I'm sure, witnessed irresistible offers. And this GroovePages scenario is a great one to emulate, a great one to look at. They give away something of immense value for free, which grows their list. And then they have the offer, which is pretty daggone irresistible. They make it like, look, the value far outweighs the investment. And they're getting a significant number of the people who join for free and gain all the value that's given to them for free, who say, well, shoot, I like this incredible offer here. I'm going to take advantage of that. I can't believe like I'm able to do this. Yes, I'm in. Of course I'm in. It's irresistible. That's the key, right? So how do you build irresistible offers? We're going to have a whole different course on that in the upcoming weeks. And we've had some in the past on copywriting and the marketing skills of creating that irresistible offer, but it's a combo. Now, with this example of GroovePages and GrooveSell, they don't even do it aggressively. It's a passive offer. It's so good, it's not an immediate upsell, right? Because one of the things that Mike did very successfully back in the day, and this is something that you would want to think about and emulate if possible. If you can emulate this scenario I'm going to outline for you, it works tremendously well. And you can do it inside GroovePages, and we're going to show you how to do that here in a second. So a lot of people think that this know, like, trust has to, well, I can't ask for the sale until they go through a week long of email autoresponders. No, this is the path that Mike did all those years ago. He taught to many people who went from not knowing it to creating massively, ridiculously amazing results by doing the same thing, including myself. So the know, like, trust factor can be pretty immediate, meaning this. You give them an irresistible offer that the value far outweighs them giving you their email address. They're in. They give you their email address, and there's what's called the thank you page. You've witnessed it. After you opt in, I don't want to click on that. My whole screen's showing. After you opt in, the next page is a thank you page. And so on the thank you page, that's where you actually can have an offer. And Mike called it all those years ago, OTO. OTO. So the thank you page was right after they opted in, they came to a thank you page that was a one-time offer. And there's different ways to do the verbiage, but I'm going to give you the 9 words that has produced ridiculously amazing results in the tens of millions. Let me take a look at this. See who's hitting up on Skype here. I don't think anyone can see me right now. Oh, it's not Skype. It's all right. It's not that. Okay. Yep. All right. Sorry about that. I'm going to turn Skype off. Okay. So when they opt in, the know, like, trust factor, the value is ridiculously amazing. They gave you their email address. There's a thing called, there's a book by Dr. Robert Cialdini called Influence. Dr. Robert Cialdini, Cialdini. The book is called Influence. And there's a thing called commitment and consistency. Commitment and consistency. They just said yes. They raised their hand and said, yes, I want this. Here's my email address. And that means they're on your team. they've just said, yeah, I'm in. And then the follow-up to go to a one-time offer is, and I'll just go with a off-the-cuff premise. Hey, congratulations. That's going to be showing up in your email inbox here shortly. Now, as we know today, there's a lot of things happening where sometimes it's in the spam folder. Go look in the spam folder if you don't see it in your inbox. But I do have something to help you. Your at the top, I can say orders in, customize your order, something like that. So in order to customize your order, I have a special offer for you right here, right now, that you're only going to see once. This is something just to show my appreciation. If you liked that, and I know you're going to like it, you're going to love this. This takes it even further. If you're like me, I'm not the type who can read a page or two or watch a little bit. I want to see the whole kit and caboodle. So if you like to go deep and you want to get results quicker and faster, I have this special offer for you. And it's going to take what you have waiting for you in your inbox exponentially further. And we're going to dive into things like this and this and this. And normally, and it's actually at a page elsewhere, it's $197. But for you, this specific one-time special offer for you, just giving me your go ahead, your thumbs up, your approval. I like people who take action, and I'm going to give you a significant discount. So instead of the $197, I'm going to let you have access to all of this. Once again, that talks about this and goes into this and does this, all for only one payment of $47. And all you have to do is simply click the button below, complete your details, and you're going to immediately access this. And here's a couple of people that did access it, and here's what they have to say. Go into some testimonials, right? And that's just off the cuff, but in essence, you get the drift. And I'm sure you've witnessed some of these. And it's the know, like, trust factor immediately. Like, so you just solidify their choice and then have them take advantage of a special offer that you put together. And you can immediately grow your list and earn a sale pretty fast. Now, the good news is it's actually a higher percentage of doing it this way in a two-step process than just sending traffic directly to earning a sale. Cold traffic, people that don't know you, like you, or trust you yet, going to a offer. Generally, a successful offer can get a 1% conversion. So out of 100 people that get there, there's 1 out of 100 that say, hey, you know what, this looks pretty good, I'm going to go forward and buy it. Now, if you go the other route, out of 100, if you have a pretty decent opt-in page and the value's high and it's an irresistible offer for them to give you their email, you can get 30%, 40%, 50%, 60%. Some I've seen in the 70% and higher, meaning 7 out of 10 people join. That's a really good one. But at the worst case scenario, 3 out of 10, right? So out of 100 people, you got 30 that you've grown your list by 30. And then out of that, you're going to have a much higher percentage of them that take advantage. So it's not going to take 1 out of 100. You're going to get, it's not uncommon to get a 5% or higher of the people that opt in actually take you on a well-crafted, irresistible offer for a one-time offer, right? So this literally is deconstructing some of the techniques and strategies that built Mike's original first millions, which then he shared in his launch that did $1 million plus in a week, which was butterfly marketing. And he shared it through some software and some trainings that he gave deeper insights into that strategy. But you can do these in a 1-2 combo. When they opt into your list for that irresistible offer, it immediately brings them to a one-time offer thank you page, and you're going to have a higher conversion. But then you have to think, okay, what can I give them that's good enough and they'd be willing to pay for it, but I'm actually giving it to them for free. And in that book, Influence, there's also the law of reciprocity. So you're actually giving them, it's kind of like, here's a great story of the law of reciprocity. So when I was in the Marine Corps, I was in Yuma, Arizona, Marine Corps Air Station, Yuma, Arizona for a while. And it's hot. Like Yuma, people asked, where is Yuma on the map? I said, get a USA Today, flip it over. Any day of the year, it's the red dot over in the left-hand side near California and Mexico. It's hot. And so I was at this shopping center. I was with a friend. I really didn't even want to be there, but I was there, and it was hot as a son of a gun. And I just walked into this store just to get some air conditioning. You ever done that? Like when it's super hot, you're like, I'm just going to go in the store to kill some time, browse around, pretend like I'm looking, and just to get some AC. And so while I'm doing it, it's just this random store. I'm walking around, I'm looking at stuff. Hey, we're running in the back. Would you like a soda? We got Coke, we got Pepsi, we got Sprite, we got Mountain Dew, we got this. I'm like, no, I'm good. Like, no, I'm going in the back anyhow. I might as well grab you one too. What do you want? Coke, Pepsi, Sprite, Mountain. All right, sure. And so I took this cold 50-cent soda, which I don't even drink many sodas, but I was just like, they weren't pushy, but all right, if you're going back anyhow, sure, grab me one. So they gave me this 50-cent soda, and I'm browsing around. And I'm in the Marine Corps, and I'm making a lot of money in the Marine Corps. And I find a t-shirt. I was not looking for a t-shirt, but they gave me that. It was a nice gesture. Felt good. I was already hot, getting some AC. Now I got this cold soda in my hand. And I ended up buying, it was like a $35, almost possibly a $50 shirt from a 50-cent can of soda that was in my hand. That's a perfect example of the law of reciprocity. So when you're thinking about what can I give them to grow my list, try not to think, how can I give them this nice little 3x5 card stack here? That's pretty good. No, you want to wow them. There's a thing called the wow factor. You want to have something that's similar to the offer that got you involved in GroovePages and GrooveSell. It's like, whoa, this is too good to pass up. Of course I'm going to join. Like, this is crazy. Used to sell for $99 a month. Now it's free. Due to all this craziness that's happening in the world. Well, thank you, first of all. And yes, I'm in. Second, that's more than the soda. That's like a little tiny smart car, right? That's like giving you a little tiny smart car. The one that you ever feel like wanting to push one of those things over, or is it just me? Like, you just want to see if you could give it a good oomph and flip it over. I've never tried that, but it's crossed my mind. But they're giving you a little smart car. And of course, there's this feeling of like gratitude. Like, oh yeah, well, this is awesome. That's a great gesture. Thank you. And then when you go see, and they don't even push it as an immediate upsell, but the offer's there. And I'll show you where you can see it if you haven't seen it yet, the offer to upgrade. And it's like, man, they already helped me out. And this is amazing. I'm in. That's why they have such a high conversion. So let me break it down to another element. When you go to watch movies back in BC era, before Corona, when we could actually go to movies, in the theater, they play the previews, right? The movie preview. So when I go with Wanda, we like watching the previews. And you probably experienced, not all previews are amazing. You'd think like they put a lot of money into that. They'd want to make sure their previews are pretty good. So not all of them are super amazing, but here's how it goes. So we watch the preview, and immediately when the preview's over, we look at each other and we're like, oh yeah, we want to see that one. Or not interested, right? Give me a 5 if you also do the same thing. Give me a 5 if that's how you guys are too. Dean, not cow tipping, car tipping. Yes, I think that every time I see one. Antonio, I'm not the only one then. That's good to know, because I'm like, am I just a weirdo? I just want to see if I can. Like, I just want to like give it a nice oomph and flip that sucker over. I wouldn't do it because, I'd have to buy the darn thing, but I'm glad to know I'm not the only one. That's funny. Key takeaway. I need to monetize the free coffees I'm giving away. Absolutely, Hank. 100%. You need to do that. Nelly, I live in Phoenix, and no Yuma. It's hot. It is hot. And just imagine in the Marine Corps, you're wearing your camis, the camis and the boots and the hat, steaming. I literally walked around with a gallon of water, a literal milk jug of water, because it was that hot. Car tipping. Man, I want to get one just to flip over, just see if I can. I digress. Dean, yes, 5, but not with Wanda. I got my eye on you, Dean. I got my eye on you. Jody 5, Shelly 5, Riduane 5, Ronald 5, Prakesh 5, Mark 5 all day. Yeah. So you want to think when you're crafting this, a preview that's like the wow factor. You might want to write that down. My wow factor. What's my wow factor? And you want to have a wow factor for what they get for free. Like, wow, like I can't believe I'm getting all this for free. And you witness it. And the big hint is to study the philosophy of GroovePages and GrooveSell, which, as we discussed, and I'm friends with the founders, came about by them improvising, adapting, and overcoming, and wanting to help people. Like, you're doing it. You're not doing it Yeah. Oh, no, you literally want to help people. How can I help them the best and give them that wow factor? And then how can I follow it up with an irresistible offer that is an equal wow factor? Like, holy cow, I can't believe this is too good to pass up. And that's how you have to think in your marketing to grow your list. And I'm bringing this up and stressing this because a lot of people go back to one of the first things that I talked about. 5, when you're not in Wisconsin, the cow tipping isn't available. You can go car tipping. I'd probably only for the smart cars. I think I might have a shot at those. The other ones would be really, really hard. That would have to be that Hulk power. If there's like a loved one trapped under or something, you need to flip the car, like a mother who gets that super adrenaline when they need it. But it circles back to one of the first things that we started talking about. Never underestimate what it takes to earn the sale. Never underestimate what it takes to earn the sale. And that's it, right? So think when you're putting together, and before you go into GroovePages, we're going to dive in there. Before you go into it, you have to think this stuff through and literally take out a big sheet of paper and take out like, okay, what assets do I have? Like, I'll give you an example. So this is a big project. I'm not going to show you. These are all on the side that I'm looking at. I'm not going to show you the side I'm looking at, but these are all pieces of assets. Every one of these cards on the other side are pieces of assets that I have at my disposal to create irresistible offers. This is a $1 billion company. The numbers I can't share, but are ridiculous as far as list size, as far as sales. So this is how, that's that song. This is how we do it. These are the assets at my disposal in crafting an irresistible offer. And it's literally like, okay, what's the best hand? Think like poker. What's the best hand? 4 of a kind, 4 aces, right? What's the best hand that you can create that gives from the assets you have available? Here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to throw all of this, because what's that going to do? That's going to overwhelm them. That's going to be too much, right? You have to have the right mixture. It's like baking a cake or something. You have to have the right ingredients for that irresistible offer, and it's different. There's no one size fits all. It's your own individual cake of irresistible awesomeness that you're crafting to create that irresistible offer. And you take a look at the assets you have available and like, all right, that and that and that is the ultimate combo. This together is it. And then you think, how can I craft it? Okay, so you're going to get this, but then I didn't want to leave you hanging. I want to throw something that can take you even. So I threw this bonus, and this bonus in and of itself has a value of, like, and you just build this stack of value, then of course they're going to give you their email address. Then you have to think, okay, that was a great irresistible offer to make that sale of the email address. When I bring them to the thank you page, and now I'm crafting an irresistible offer, what's that going to be to where they're willing to say, holy crap, like they're anxiously, they're not hesitantly, they're like, yes, I'm in. Like before the countdown timer goes down, I'm in. Like, what is that? All right, so let me jump over. I see Yuma. I was in the Marine Corps Air Station, but I was the redheaded stepchild, Merson. I was with Hawk Missile Systems. So 3rd Land Battalion was in Cherry Point, North Carolina. Then the Land Battalion was being disbanded. We went to the 2nd Lam, and then I went to 1st Lam out in Yuma. So we weren't the Air Wing specifically. We were like the redheaded stepchild. So we weren't with the planes and all that. We were the surface-to-air missiles, the 14-foot long Hawk Missile System. So not quite a winger, but was in Marine Corps Air Station, Cherry Point, and Yuma. Yes, that was me, Merson. What do you think about the copywriting? Oh, I don't know if that was to me, Rudwayne. Mark, I will never underestimate what it takes to make the sale. That's my new information. Absolutely. Right. And so you just have to go in with that mindset and like, look, I'm not going to slouch at this. I'm going to put my best foot forward to give the most irresistible offer possible, but I can't overwhelm them. Like I can't throw everything at them. Right. I got to do it where it's just enough. And here's one of the things that when I worked with Rich Sheffrin, you have to have this line of thought. Like, okay, if I add this one other asset, of the assets I have, if I add this, does that further the sale? Right? Does that make it more probable of people saying, ooh, because of that, I'm going to join? And if the answer is not yes, it's unnecessary. So that's to get back to crafting that offer. It's not just throwing everything you got. It's strategically thinking, is this, that if I add this particular asset, is that going to further the sale from people that haven't already said yes yet? Is this going to push them over the fence? Are we going to gain more of a percentage of people saying yes because of this? Or if it's more of like, not really, then it's not necessary, right? So that whole mixing of the cake is to not throw everything in the kitchen into the cake. It's only the specific ingredients. And it's up to you to determine what those specific ingredients are that just make that great compilation of like, that's pretty darn irresistible. And then it's not just you thinking it. Here's how Mike and I would, when Mike, Phil Same and I were working together from 2006 to 2011, here was the barometer. So when we crafted offers, we would reach out to our network of friends. And these are the well-known friends and stuff. And we'd tell them what we got going. And if they were like, oh, cool, that sounds pretty good, we knew it wasn't irresistible yet. Sounds pretty good wasn't as irresistible as we wanted it. Here's what made it irresistible. When we got done explaining what it was, if they're like, I'll send you PayPal right now. How can I get this now before it goes live? I want this now. And then, and it wasn't even the request to get it for free. It's like, I'll send you money right now for this. I want that now. And we're talking some of the things where, and these are well-known names, I'm not going to mention, PayPal $10,000 for something that was just the idea that was crafted into that irresistible offer. And it was a high level thing. It ended up being EverWebinar, or Webinar Jam and EverWebinar back when it was first created. In describing it to people, they weren't like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. They're like, no, I want it now before it goes live. I'll shoot you $10,000. I want it. And that's when you know you got something. When you're explaining it to others and they're like, whoa, enough. I want it. How can I send, where can I send you money and how can I get it? I want it. I don't want to wait until it goes live. I want it now. And that's when you know you got an irresistible offer. If you don't have that network yet, you'll build it. But people, when you share it with people, the medium response, oh, that sounds pretty good. Pretty good isn't the total irresistible offer. You want people that are like, I want it now. I don't want to wait. I want it right now. I'll send you money. How much can I send you and where can I send it? Then you know you got a great offer. All right. Dean, any place in this for unannounced bonuses over delivering? That's a great point, Dean. Yes. So actually, let me thank you for bringing that point up, because here's an important disclosure. This is another thing that Mike and I talked about in the early 2006, 2007 range. And actually have had some people share their experience and see that this happens. That was happening then, it's still happening now. It's easy to collect money if you're over promising and under delivering. Now, I know no one here would do that. So Dean, I know that no one would do that, but this all goes back to the premise that you have to come from that. Like, look, I love my clients. I love the people who opt in. I love my clients because, I'm doing what I do because I want to help them. Like, you do it from that passion. You do it from you wanting to, that you have the goods, and you just have to figure out how to craft that in a manner to where they can say, yeah, she's got the goods. He's got the goods. She's got the goods that I want. I'm willing to give them my email. I'm willing to give my credit card because I want it. And it's just communicating that. So you have to go from, I say half, you don't have to do anything. You could consider not going the route that a lot of people do, is overpromise and underdeliver and have a lot of ticked off people because you promised the world and didn't deliver anything. That's not how we are. And I know no one here in GroovePages would do that. But literally sit back and think, I want to underpromise and overdeliver. So that is a very good point, Dean. Thank you for bringing it up, because you kind of want to save some to add to the wow factor, right? Because they're going to have the wow factor from you crafting the irresistible offer in either one of these steps. But then if you save some of that for later, like, hey, oh, by the way, I didn't even want to bring this up, but thank you. Just as my way of showing appreciation for you trusting me with your business, I've thrown in this additional bonus, which I didn't even mention. It's an unannounced bonus, an unadvertised bonus, but that's just my commitment. I knew that this was a piece that I thought you might appreciate and could be helpful for you. Boom, that actually takes the wow factor a whole different level. So it's absolutely important to always be thinking of over-delivering more so than any of your competitors would. And it circles back to that wow factor. How can I just make these clients and these people that opt in raving fans, right? I don't want to have just satisfied. And this actually is a quote from my good friend Jeffrey Gitomer, the #1 best-selling author in sales of all time. He's wrote the Little Red Book of Selling, the Little Black Book of Connections, which I'm in. I'm in a Little Black Book of Connections. He mentions me on page 113 or something like that. I introduced Jeffrey Gitomer to NFL Hall of Fame quarterback Jim Kelly. I was the president of a company that I formed with Jim Kelly. Jeffrey and Jim actually wrote a kick butt book that has never been released, along with a whole bunch of videos that they did in Charlotte, North Carolina at Jeffrey's amazing offices. I brought Mike Filsaime down to Jeffrey Gitomer's office. We had a great weekend with him, a full day of teaching Jeffrey pretty much some of the similar strategies that you're learning here today. But anyhow, Jeffrey has this quote: "Would you rather your spouse be satisfied or loyal?" It's kind of funny. I get a kick out of that. And so you want to build raving fans who aren't just satisfied. Not only they're loyal, but they're raving fans, and they can't stop screaming your name from the rooftops about how amazing their experience was, because you underpromised and overdelivered and made that wow factor so high. All right, so SOS, suffer. I'm not sure what SOS is. For me, I actually have a program called SOS, Stop Overcomplicating Success, but I don't think that's what you mean here. So help me, and it shows up as Facebook user. So I can't, same old stuff. Okay, there you go. Same old stuff might be it. So that's Michael's Little Red Book of Selling. Yep. So Eric, good job. Jeffrey's a riot, man. I introduced Mike to Jeffrey years ago. We had a blast there. And he is just an amazingly cool dude. And he was one of my first mentors. And he's one who I pretty much like, look, Jeffrey, you're doing what I want to be doing. If you were in my shoes, what would you do? And he helped guide me down the path to uncovering things that have changed my life. So I'm great friends and always a huge fan of him. Shiny object syndrome. Okay, good. There we go. Thank you. Shiny object syndrome. Okay, so let me read this. So, and I don't know your name. Type your name in, Facebook user. It doesn't show me your name here. So, okay, there it is. Yeah, it's up on the screen. So as an SOS sufferer, how not to make people fall for the same things I fell for, and that help create the massive confusion many people have with all the tools we have. How to allow people to select and choose what they really need as an irresistible offer. Or do we simply state this is for those who need and feel good that we are clear enough of what they are getting into and not feel guilty that we are contributing to their world of shiny object syndrome. Okay, great. So got it. All right. So here's my answer to that. And this answer comes from one of the best marketers in the world, in my opinion, Dan Kennedy. And I've spent time with Dan. I've had dinner with him. He loves Disney. I've had dinner with him at Epcot Center in Disney. Have some funny stories. We don't have time to get into those, but here's the wisdom that I've learned from Dan. This, coming from what I've learned from Dan, is my responsibility and your responsibility as a product owner, as someone who's committed to helping your people, right? So it goes back to, let me go back another level. I feel you need to believe in yourself, your product, your services, your company, and recognize that, look, if people are looking for this, what I provide from me, my company, my product or service, yeah, there's other people out there, but I bring something that no one else brings. And guess what? You do, because you bring your personality, your experience, and your perspective, which is unique. No one else can do that. But you have to have belief in yourself, belief in your product, belief in your service, belief in your company at the level like, look, if they're looking for this solution and they don't come to me, they're missing out. Like I feel bad. I feel like I didn't deliver the message properly. I messed up. I screwed up. Because if they're looking for that solution, not only do I provide that solution, but I do it better than anyone else. And uniquely, and due to my personality, experience, and perspective, I feel bad that I didn't describe it properly for them to see it. I must have messed up somewhere. So that's the answer preceding the shiny objects syndrome. So if you're promoting something, or if you're trying to grow your list or earn a sale, that you don't have that belief that I just described, I would encourage you to not even try for that and go find something that you can believe in at that level. Give me an 8 in the chat if that makes sense. Give me an 8 if what I just said makes sense. Because here's what I found. If you don't have that level of belief, that level of passion, that level of knowing, true and authentic, Linda, yes. You can't fake that. You either have it or you don't. 8, Facebook user. 8, Hank. And I'm not saying this in a derogatory or any manner, but I've been there. I've been the #1 person in 5 separate sales organizations. And here's the other in the corporate world. And here's the other reality. Nobody's perfect. No company's perfect, right? So when I was selling these things, I rose to the top because of my belief in the company, in the product, in the service, in myself. If there was a chink from my customers who I made promises to based on the company telling me this is what they're going to do, and the customer came to me, hey, you told me they were going to do this, and they aren't. So I don't throw the company under the bus. I go to the company, hey, these customers are telling me I made these promises because you promised me, and the customers are telling me that you aren't fulfilling that promise. So what's going to be done about it? And if they didn't rectify that, I didn't believe in them anymore. I couldn't sell their stuff anymore. Does that make sense? So I think y'all are getting it. And that was in the corporate world. So that's a chink in your belief. And you just can't fake it. Look, I can't be someone who tells people this is what I'm going to do for you, knowing that that's not going to happen. Some people can do it. I can't. And I don't think GroovePages attracts people that can either. So what I'm saying is, if you don't have full belief in the company, the product, the service, and yourself, for whatever, if something put a chink in that armor, and this is for people that are in, like in my situation, in those types of cases, it was in the corporate world. I didn't take the feedback from the customers and just throw the company under the bus. I approached the company and said, hey, we're having these problems from the people that I made promise to, based on the promise you made to me. What's being done about it? And if they aren't fixing it properly, you can't. There's nothing you can or can't. I would suggest you find something that you can have belief in, still knowing that nobody's perfect, no company's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But when problems arise, they're committed to fixing them, and are doing all they can to fix them. And I think that makes sense. Customer service is worthless. Customer loyalty is priceless. Did you ever get him? Or Ken? Yes. He's like, would you rather have a satisfied customer or a loyal customer? It's always fun. So, okay. So y'all are with me. So I see a lot of 8s here. All right. So Hank, Merson, Dwight, Linda, SM, Miri, Peter, Facebook user, Jimmy, Facebook user, Prakash, Showcat, Mark. Thanks. I like that. What was my question? Francis. Okay, Francis. Good. Ken Gittimer. Yep. Facebook user 8. Okay, so that's part, and this is all the preface. I didn't even get to the Dan Kennedy part here. So this is all my preface. That's me. That's me. Now the Dan Kennedy stuff. So what I just talked about was me leading up to the Dan Kennedy lesson in shiny object syndrome. So that's part 1. Part 2 is, as a product creator, as someone who's creating these irresistible offers, it's our responsibility to deliver what we promise. And as long as we do that, we can sleep very well at night. Here's what we can't do. We can't force people to read the book. We can't force people to watch the videos. We can't force people to take the actions. We can guide them, and it's our responsibility that if they do take the steps, they're going to get similar results. Right? I mean, you can't sell a weight loss program and worry about the clients actually working out, right? That's up to them. You have to provide them with the proper promises, the fulfillment of those promises, where if they do follow this, they're going to get the results. And you have to come to peace with that, because the bottom line is, no matter what you sell, related to the shiny object syndrome, Francis, the high majority of people, here's what they do. Nothing. That's a zero. Nothing. They don't do anything. And that's not saying they're bad. That's not saying, how dare them. That's human nature. The percentages are that out of here's the percentage. 64.5% of percentage that you hear just pulled out of their air. All right. So, Hank, key takeaway. I don't need a fancy PowerPoint to sell. I need a pen, paper, and authenticity. Boom. There you go. And Hank, that works for me. That works for you. You get it. And that works for some others. It's not the one size fits all. Everybody's different. But for those, that's the simplest way. All right. So Yafrin, Tom, those were some nuggets of truth you gave us there. Thank you. Appreciate it. So it's your duty and your responsibility when you make these irresistible offers to underpromise and overdeliver, not overpromise and underdeliver, and make sure that you fulfill all those promises. And for the people that do take the steps are going to get similar results. But you have to come to peace by knowing in advance, most people, just because of the percentages, won't do a daggum thing. So, Francis, to circle back to the shiny object syndrome, that's not on you. And I will add this. So that's part one, part two. Part one was all me. Part two is Dan Kennedy. Part three is this. I try to tell people, sometimes in the front, but definitely in the members area or delivery of the product, say, you know what? Humanity is interesting. I'm a student of studying humanity. And one of the things that boggles my mind, because I'm a student, when I buy something, I want to implement it. I want to get it going. I'm going to read the things. I'm going to watch the videos. But the percentages don't add up like that. Apparently, I'm unique. I'm a freak. I'm the one person out of 100 that actually does things. My hope is I didn't put this together to collect digital dust. I didn't put this together to have you feel good and not take any action. I didn't put this together because I wanted the money. Yeah, I'll take the money, and the money is helpful. So thank you for that. But what I want is your testimonial. What I want is your case study. What I want is to hear how this changed your life, how this changed your results. That's what drives me. Sure, the money's great. I'm not going to diminish that, but not as nearly amazing as hearing from you. So I want to ask you, are you willing to do the work? And type a 9 in the chat here. You here watching this with me today. Type a 9 if you're willing to do the work. Type a 9 in there. Type a 9. And this is the same thing for GroovePages through GrooveSell. I love sharing this information. I love sharing this wisdom that has taken me decades to learn, has produced tremendous results for me and many of my clients. I'm not doing this to waste my most precious asset of time. I'm doing this because I want to see the life change in you. I've done this across the world in front of thousands, multiple thousands of people. And I've had people come to me and say, hey, look, I was just starting. I didn't have a clue. I actually was ready to give up. I have a client that's now is now in the GroovePages family. There's a blog post comment he made in 2010. He was about ready to give up. He crossed paths with one of my trainings. He was ready to throw in the towel, tens of thousands of dollars in debt. He now has produced tens of millions of dollars in results. He told me in that blog post, I was ready to give up, but Tom, I'm going to tell you, I'm going for it. I'm going to give it my all. You convinced me that I can do it. And he went on to produce tens of millions of dollars results. That's what I want for you. I'm not doing this to waste my most precious asset of time. Today's my daughter's birthday. Like this is how important this is. You are important to me. This takes priority. And I'm not doing it to waste my time. I'm doing it to help you build a foundation of the belief that you can do this, to do like that person in my blog post in 2010 was ready to give up, gave it a go, kept it simple, started getting some life-changing results, and now, has produced way more than he probably ever imagined. That's what I want for you. And let me check here. So, all right, y'all are with me. Wow, lots of nines. Thank you. Thank you. That's it. So y'all are here. Dean's not here to waste, or Dave's not here to waste his time. I'm not. Mike and John and Matt and other Matt and the co-founders and Donna and Joe Jablonski, they didn't bring me and the others on here just to kill time. They did it because they've, personally, I've worked with Mike since 2006, 2011. We have touched and changed so many lives. Like oh yeah. You guys were the ones that helped me. Wow, yeah, great. Like, it's just like, that's just part of what we do. This comes from here. And I know you're capable of it. And that's why we go into this stuff. And that's why, like Mike brought me on. John, I worked with John Cornetto. We've done some events together. We've changed lives. This is changing lives. And we don't want to change all these other people's lives. We want to change your life. Whether you're here with us live or you're watching this on a replay, this is real deal. Your life is on the line. You take these actions, your life can change dramatically and positively. All right, so here we go. You might be able to tell I'm a little passionate about this stuff. So here we go. So Dean, David, Omar, Jody, Hank, Marison, Mary, Tom, Christine, Ken, Rick, Facebook user, Michael, Nelly, Facebook user, Jimmy, Yafrin, I can't stop working, Facebook.
Guys, I think something happened and I think he pressed the wrong button.
Yeah, I'm back.
He is here.
I'm back. So lots of y'all are here. So that's it, man. Hey, I'm so passionate. It was jumped right out. I clicked the button and it kicked me out of here. Tom's in here. Happy birthday to your daughter. Thank you. Dean, happy birthday. Yep. Miri, thank you. Thank you. So lots of you. So y'all are here. Groove's the best support on many levels. I'm the best. I'm least technical, but I'm not stopping. Right. Thank your daughter for giving part of her daddy time to us. Thanks, Ken. Appreciate it. Christine, happy birthday, Miss Lady Beal. Awesome. I'll pass those birthday wishes along to her. And so now that was a real live example of part 3 that I talked about to answer the shiny object syndrome. Is you address it. One of the first things you address is say, look, I'm not doing this, just to make sales. I'm not doing this just to help you feel good. And, because there's adrenaline rush when people get, not adrenaline, but dopamine, the dopamine hit that we get on Facebook, all these things, the dopamine hits. There's a dopamine hit when people buy your thing. And many people, that's the only action they take. So the first thing that I like to help them do is say, look, I don't want you to be part of the majority of the stats that people who buy stuff don't take any action. And similar to what you just witnessed here, I asked for them to do something. And we're in a live scenario, so I asked you to type a 9 in, and you saw how many 9s there were. You want to ask them to take one small action. This goes back to the commitment and consistency that we talked about. You want them to do one small thing. So look, I want you to be an action taker. Do you want to be an action taker? I know you didn't purchase this and join this to just buy it and let it collect digital dust. You bought it because you wanted what it promised. And here's my commitment. I want to help you achieve it. We deliver on the promises, but I need your help. I can't be there to do it for you. I need your participation. So I'm asking for the one small thing. This first step you need to do right now. This first thing, you do this step right now. Do not disappoint me. Do this now is click this button and join us in the Facebook group. And that's one example of many. But so here's the psychology behind this. And you'll be able to track this with your sales. And you can do this with opt-ins sometimes as well, too, to get the know, like, trust factor, depending on what your flow is. So if it's just an opt-in and you have that message, you could, I need you to join me in the Facebook group. Look, you got that in your inbox. It's coming to you, but we have more value. That wow factor is join us in the Facebook group. I'm committed to helping you make this change. But it's more so for the client aspect, right? The clients is where you really solidify this. In asking them to take that one small action, that leads to the commitment and consistency. they made the purchase, and then immediately like, look, and I know this sounds so simple, and you'll come back to it tomorrow, might be crossing your mind. Guess what? Tomorrow never comes. Do not take this step. Commit to me. Show me you're dedicated by clicking this button. It's all it takes. Click the button, join us in the Facebook group. And then, and I wouldn't even throw it in as a second step and introduce yourself, because that will scare people. But then when they join the Facebook group, then get them to, I just want to know where you're joining us from. Post your state and country where you're joining us from. You see the psychology in this? So you got them to take the one small step of clicking the button. Then the one small step, not an introduction, because guess what an introduction does? Scares people, overwhelms people. I don't know what to say. I'll come back to it later. Later never comes. Remember that. Later never comes. So then the only thing you want, so hey, look, one quick thing. So when you join, immediately just post in, hey, I'm joining from, name your state and country and your city if you want to, but just, let us know where you're joining us from. Something as simple as that begins taking them from inaction to action. You see, so these are the things. This all goes back to Francis's question about shiny object syndrome. When you know the psychology of humanity, you know the odds that you're up against, and you can come up with strategies to overcome those odds. All right. So we touched on a lot of stuff so far today. I'm super excited. Dean, micro commitments. Yes, micro commitments. Those small, seemingly simple steps. But you still, just like we talked about, don't ever underestimate what it takes to earn the sale. Definitely never underestimate what it takes to get someone from inaction to action. You have to keep them on those micro commitments, because the minute they say, I'll get to it later never comes, right? So these micro commitments, and this is key. Hank, Tom, you're glowing. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Shopping therapy, Facebook user says. It's apparent that you were not a crayon-eating grunt. Yep, was not a grunt. That's for sure. Facebook user, this is great. Need to review this a few more times. Yes, Francis. So this stuff, this is the preparation prior to going into GroovePages, right? So this is where you break it down and you think about this strategically. When I go in there, I want to build a page that gets people to see the offer. Now, here's the 9 words that it produced ridiculous. When Mike Philsame and I used to sit down with an idea, and before we craft an offer, whether it was a video or a VSL or a sales page, we would sit down with these 9 words. Write these 9 words down. Tell your story, share your results, sell your system. Tell your story, share your results, sell your system. One more time. Tell your story, share your results, sell your system. So those 9 words, you can tell your story, share your results, and sell your system to get them to say, yeah, I want that. And the system is when they're going to get whatever they're going to get when they enter their email. Then the same thing when they earn a sale. So tell your story, share your results, sell your system. Then if you're crafting an offer, which both of those are offers, there's a 3-part premise that you can tie in telling your story, sharing your results, and selling your system with this 3-part process. Here's what I've got. Here's what it will do for you. Here's what to do next. So in telling your story, sharing your results, and selling your system, when you get to selling the system, it goes into here's what I've got, here's what it will do for you, and here's what to do next. That's as simple as it gets. Now, that last part was from John Carlton. John Carlton's the one who came up with that last part. Here's what I've got. Here's what it will do for you. Here's what to do next. And Frank Kern re-emerged it and made it popular again years later. So John Carlton, one of the amazing copywriter who worked with Gary Halbert back in the day, and John went on to be another top-rated, amazing copywriter. That was his process. Here's what I've got. Here's what it will do for you. Here's what to do next. And then, yeah, Facebook user, tell your story, share your results, sell your system. Yes. And if someone else can type in that other one, here's what I've got. Here's what it will do for you. Here's what to do next. All right. So this simplifies it. Now we can go back over to Groove Pages. And let me jump over here real quick. So share screen. I'll do the entire screen, sure. All right, so now we're going to jump into Groove Pages. All right, so when you log in to app.groovefunnels.com, this is the page that you come to. When you go here, if you've not seen the upgrade yet, go take a look at it. Click on upgrade, learn more, and there you go. Boom, you're going to see the amazing irresistible offer, and it's a dual fold look at it. So whether you've even already got it, go look at it psychologically, go look at it, how they craft it and how it's flowing and what they talk about, how to tell their story, share the results, sell their system. And here's what I've got. Here's what it will do for you. Here's what to do next. Deconstruct it. So there's the countdown timer, so just take a look at it and see how this irresistible offer is crafted. If you have already taken advantage of it, go look at it again. And if you haven't taken a look at it, go look at it, because it's an amazing irresistible offer, and it's a limited time. So it's going to be there until it's not. So go take a peek at it. We're going to jump into Groove Pages. And when we jump into Groove Pages, I'm going to break it down to the real simple stuff. So first of all, real simply, you want to integrate this with your opt-in page. Not opt-in page, your autoresponder service, right? Which allows you to have, when they go to an opt-in page that you create inside Groove Pages, it integrates with your autoresponder company. So here I have my Aweber and my ActiveCampaign. If you haven't integrated yet, how did I get here? Let me go back and show you where. So you won't have all these here. These are all my pages, for most of them for demos, but yours will be possibly empty. You may have a couple there. Over to the far right here, above New Site, that little pancake thing there, you click on that and you click on My Integrations. That's where you want to integrate your autoresponder company. So I have Aweber and ActiveCampaign integrated. To add yours, you go to Add. This pop-up comes. You do an integration type. You pick which one, and as you can see here, ActiveCampaign, Aweber, Campaign Monitor, Web Form, Get Response, GoToWebinar, MailChimp, Mautic, Perkzilla, Product Dino, Zapier, whatever one you have, you click on it. Now for each of them, it's a little bit different. Some of them are similar, but for Aweber, it actually asks you to click here to authorize. So you basically log in to your Aweber account. I'll show you. I don't think I have to log in. Oh, so it didn't know it on mine. Right. So mine, since maybe I'm already integrated, but you click on it and you basically log in, and then it goes and does it that way. For ActiveCampaign, it was different for me. It actually has, I have to go log into my ActiveCampaign and go get the API key and the special URL, which is in the inside the dashboard of ActiveCampaign. So each one's a little bit different, but you connect it here. Once you connect that, now you are able to connect your pages that you create with your autoresponder. I will say this, and I'm saying it, not everybody thinks a few steps ahead. So well, actually, let me jump over here. This before I jump into Groove Pages, I want to show this slide. You have to go in there thinking what your desired outcome is, and you go in as the architect before you go just start building it. And then you ask yourself, what assets will I need? So if you're building an opt-in page, you're going to need your assets, meaning you're going to have to have an autoresponder company. Groove Mail's coming out pretty soon. But in the meantime, as you saw, I have Aweber and ActiveCampaign. But it's a step deeper than that. If you just go and get the Aweber or ActiveCampaign and haven't yet created a list, you also have to create a list inside whatever your autoresponder service is. So in Aweber, I have a lot of different lists. But if I have a page that I haven't created a list for, I got to go into Aweber and create that list. Once I create it in the autoresponder company and it's integrated in the manner that we just saw how to integrate, then you can actually select the list that when people give you their email and or name or email or whatever the data is that you want to collect, it's now going to go to that list. Right. So this, and basically what I'm doing describing this is taking it from what I've been doing for so long, it's unconscious competence, breaking it back to conscious competence. Like, so if you're unconsciously, or if you're consciously incompetent, here's what you need to do. So when you have your Aweber, ActiveCampaign, or whatever you're using, and you're building an opt-in page, and or building a sales page, you'd want to create a list for your opt-ins and a separate list for the people that purchase. Because when they purchase, as we went into the details last week going through GrooveSell, when they purchase, it can add them to that your buyer list, right? So if you're making a sale, you want to create an opt-in, and you have an opt-in and then a one-time offer type of deal. You want to make two lists: one list for the opt-ins and a second list for the sale, right? So those are the things you think about before you jump into GroovePages. So do I have that list created? Then basically all we do is go to new site here in the corner. And I probably wouldn't recommend going with the blank template at this point. I would recommend clicking down here. Right below the blank template is templates. Click that and it expands. There's a whole bunch of new templates coming very soon. And I'm really excited about that. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a long list of templates available for you. But what you have here are a whole bunch of different templates that are 100% customizable by you, that gives you a good starting point. So as you scroll through and you've thought through what you're looking to do, whether it's to build an opt-in page or whether it's to earn a sale, when you're inside GroovePages, you can take a look and scan and see which one grabs your attention and feels like it might be the right flow. And you can preview them. So you can preview it and see, okay, yeah, that looks pretty cool. So it's going to have a video here, which, that video will explain what they're going to get. And then the button is going to, lead to a pop-up that has them opt in or whatever. And it's okay, that's pretty cool. And then below, it's got some different additional things I can add. Okay, and you can delete all this stuff too. So that's one option. And you got a whole bunch of different options that you can preview and select. Let's preview this one. So you got that, pretty cool. So something above the fold, video below the fold. All right, cool. Now for me, the go-to is always a quick video and just go for the gusto. That one, that's the one I like choosing personally for those who know. But then this one here, let's take a look here. This one I think is pretty cool as well. So let me pick this one just to give an example. So that's the one we're going to pick right now. So we're going to select this. It builds a page. And then right away, you can go over here to site settings. And this is what you want to just name it. And this is just some of the stuff I do right off the bat. So name it, what am I going to name it? GroovePages example. You could have a favicon. The favicon, for those who don't know, is a little image up here. So this little duck is StreamYard's favicon. This little circle thing here is Groove Digital. So you can have a favicon if you have one. You can choose an image. You can put codes and stuff in there later. Whoops. If you enter actual size, cool. But I just name it because when I name it now, I'll be able to see it in the whole list of all the other things there. Now here, you can actually just go and delete stuff. So I don't want that. I don't need to waste my time there. This my super cool headline. Right, that's a simple to do. And then let me just show you these buttons at the top. So, oh wait, I deleted that image at top. I actually do want that. So I go back, and there it is. But wait, you know what? I don't need it after all. I'm gonna go forward, and I like the headline. So you can go back and forward is really cool and really key. For the videos, the default is, and the simplest way to do it is upload your videos to YouTube. And for you that are here every week, you know that we do this because they're new users who haven't seen this before. So I basically go to my channel, go to my videos. So you go to where you've uploaded your videos and you scroll to whichever one you want. And I'll just do this one, lack of clarity. It's the root of all failure. That's a good one. And then whatever video you click on, and it can be public or it can be unlisted, doesn't matter. You just go here and you go to the after the equals, V equals, and you copy that and you go back to here, you paste that there, you update, and it changes. Simple as that. So once again, all I did, here I'm in the headline. You see how it's highlighted around the headline. You saw how easy it is to modify the headline. Modify simply just by typing it in there. And then from there, I could change colors. I could change, it's real super simple. As you can see, this is as simple as it can be to make modifications and get your page up and ready. Now for here, I click on, and you see it's got the green arrow around the video, and at the bottom you see where it says video-YouTube. Then all I did was go to configure, and I pasted that after the equal sign. I pasted that particular video's code from YouTube, and it automatically populates it in here. Real simple. Then we go to the button. As you can see here, access. Whatever you want to put here. Yes, I want this report. Update. That updates it there, and then you can link to. I'll just do a URL. HTTP. Tombeal.com. I'll open in a new tab. Boom. So now when they click on it, it's going to send them to a new tab, and then I can go into more details. Here's what you get. Boom, and whatever. I can go down and add in all the different things. Limited time, whatever you want to do. Simple, simple, simple. Testimonials, boom, boom, boom. Frequently asked questions, all that stuff. And you can modify that, edit it as needed. Now here's the other part. So let's just say, you know what, for this, I don't want to have frequently asked questions. I'm going to go here and edit the frequently asked questions. Boom. Oh, it left some there. You could, oh, there we go. Delete that whole thing. There we go. They're gone, right? And oh crap. I want them back. 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 They're back, right? Forward, forward, gone. So you have the simple ability to make all edits necessary on the page. Then once it's done, you go to publish. I'll hit save now just to hit save. Then I go here to publish. You have two options to publish. You can host it here, or you can publish it on a domain. So you don't need a domain. You don't need a server or any type of hosting. Even if you have a domain, you don't need a server or hosting. It still goes through here. But I'm going to show you. So if you do have a domain, you'd go here, and I would type in, www. My domain, whatever that domain is. And then all I have to do is inside I have Namecheap. I use Namecheap, whether it's GoDaddy, Namecheap, whatever you use for your domains where you purchase them. You log into that dashboard, and you just do what it says here. You create the CNAME, and you point it towards this. And I'll show you an example on that. I have one that I did a couple weeks ago. I'll show you that, but we're not going to do that for this one. So I'll get rid of that. To host the site with us, all you simply do is click that box, and then you name it. So July 14. You can name it whatever you want. Groove Pages 22, right? Example, or just GroovePages example. Whatever, you can name it whatever you want. GP2. Keep it short. So then that domain, when I publish this, publish, content saved, publish. This domain right here, tombeal.com/GroovePages/GP2. I click on it. It's going to open a new window. There it is. It's live. Boom. Video's playing. Lack of clarity. There you go. And then all of your edits are there. You don't need a domain name. You don't need a hosting service. It's all inside GroovePages. That simple, right? And as you see, well, okay, Tom, well, all right. Well, I had plans of getting all this other stuff done. You could go and delete a whole bunch of other stuff. You can go up a whole other thing. Like, you could delete all this and just start chopping away if you want to just get things going. You can chop away. And you see it's green there. You can go up. Now it's all that. Delete that. I mean, you can go hog wild and do what you need to do. But with templates, the beauty of the template is it's all there to give you the ability to save time and just pretty much, follow the format that they've laid out for you, and you're off to the races quickly and as fast as possible. So I'll save that. I already published it. Now I'm going to exit. I'm going to exit to show you one other thing. So I'm going to go back to GroovePages, and I'm going to show you one that I did with a domain. All right, so where is it? Sparkly white teeth, that's one. So this one, open editor. So in this one, I chose the publish option that you're going to see here. I published on my domain, sparklywhiteteeth.com. I went into Namecheap. I changed the CNAME to this, host10.groovepages.com. It took a little while to propagate. Oops. I'll add another domain. Nope, I clicked the wrong button. It took a little while to propagate. Sometimes it's pretty quick. Sometimes it takes a little while. But that page, if you go to sparklywhiteteeth.com, I got it here. If I'll refresh this, there it is. It's all there. It's real simple. And there's a video and there's a button. And the button leads to an affiliate link. That's it. So it's simple. It's easy. Video, link. Click on that. Opens up into a new window. There you go. Video, link. That's one example of an affiliate offer that's linked to publishing on a domain. All right, so that's the down dirty simple. Last week we did a training that went into GrooveSell and things like that. What I'm going to point out to you here is another resource. In the very beginning of today's training, we went to the Facebook page. Another resource that's super powerful for you is GrooveDigitalAcademy.com. So you want to go to the Facebook group that we showed in the beginning, and Groove Digital Academy is also a place to go to get some questions answered in between weekly calls. And you got quick help. You've got the Groove Video Search, where you can search for just keywords and come up with the trainings that are there. Webinar replays on demand. So our replays come up in here. GroovePages, publish your site, website building, integrations, GrooveSell, product funnels, products, Groove Affiliate, some affiliate tips, walkthroughs, the Groove Partner Program, GroovePages for affiliate marketing, etc. Lemonade, here we go. This is good stuff from David here. David Lemon has all these trainings of how to build a coming soon page, building out a one-page website for local business, how to build a beautiful podcast page, building out a landing page with embedded GrooveSell checkout, building out a beautiful landing page using GroovePages. So all these examples are here, along with the webinar replays that we have on these weekly basis at Groove Digital Academy. So as you can tell, we're here for you. And as you witnessed, we're not here just to kill time. We're here to give you the tools necessary, the belief necessary, the mindset and strategies necessary to help you change your life for you and your family. And that's no joke. Like it's something that I've been doing and Mike's been doing for ages, and it works, right? So it works, but it also goes back to that quote from Napoleon Hill: whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So the idea has been conceived. If you don't believe it, that goes to the Henry Ford quote: whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. That friend of mine who posted in 2010 on the blog, like he made a promise: you will know my name. I will meet you in person, and I'm going to be someone who's going to be successful. I'm going to take the action. I'm going to do whatever it takes, for as long as it takes to figure this out. And he did. He's produced tens of millions of dollars. And, we'll probably have him on. I'm sure he'll be a guest and do some training in the upcoming future through Mike and John and others. But it's possible. And I want to see your testimonials. I want to see you as another case study. All right, so that's where we are. Along with this, I would love to hear your feedback, right? So we have inside the Facebook group, we have the video posted there from this week's training. It's live as we're speaking, but when it's done, I want to see action taken by you. I want to see updates. Tag me, Tom. Hey, look, I took action. Here we go. Thanks for this, or whatever resonated with you. Post it. And I don't want it just to be words. I want to see follow through. I want to see action. So here we go. So are these Facebook webinars on Groove Digital Academy? Yes. they are there. And that was in the Start Here webinar replays on demand. And they're up there, a whole bunch of them. A whole bunch of them all the way back. So there they are. And here we are. We are coming to the end of today's training. The fog is starting to lift. That's what I like to hear. It's one step at a time. So I commend you for being here live and or watching this at a later time. That's what it takes. I go back all the way to early 2000s of being on teleseminars and saying, man, one day, I know I can figure this out. And I know you can. Regardless of where you are, regardless of what your starting point is, you take the lessons that we discussed today, you come up with the proper strategy, you're able to build an irresistible offer that's going to grow your email list. And then in hopefully some cases, you'll be able to have that follow up to a thank you page with a special offer where you can immediately earn a sale. You're going to have the autoresponder series as well as regular communication with your people by getting them to know, like, and trust you through the email communications that you have. And you're going to get from where you are to where you want to be, one step and one day at a time with consistency. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Dwight, great training. Ridwayne, thank you. Antonio, not sharing your screen. Nope, not right now. Oh, I wasn't sharing the screen when I was showing the Groove Digital Academy. See, that's how it works, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, in Groove Digital Academy, if you go to Start Here, that's where all the replays are. Nelly, thank you, Tom and David. Happy birthday, Miss Beal. Yes, I will pass that on. All right, so there we have it. David, we are good. What kind of funnel would be more suitable for GMB services? Cannot wait to be more successful and grateful about it. Be in position to help others to group. Francis. All right, Francis, good question earlier. Good to have you here. And I know you will be another testimonial because you're here, you're taking action, and you're committed to taking follow-up action.
Just a question. There was one post of a website that I shared with you in the private chat.
Okay, cool. Oh, cool. Yeah. Here we go. So Dean, hold on. Dean Lind. Let's take a look at this, and I will share my screen as I post this here. Okay, so David, let me know you can see what I'm seeing, the page here.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. So, okay, so you got a video here. I like it. I talked about Dan Kennedy, and I like the no bull. Dan Kennedy has that no bull things here. So I'm not going to watch the video just because of the streaming issue. Subscribe and bonus. Receive bonus shown below. Free bonus. There we go. I like it. The I Am Insiders newsletter, which is a powerful newsletter. Nicely done. 2 frontline video courses. Very good. Affiliate marketing, banner advertising. Okay. Very cool. Now this, let me see how long it is. 2 minutes and 17. Good.
My name's Dean, and I'm glad you've come across this
I will watch
video because I've got an offer that I want to make to you. Something that I've come across. I'm not trying to get into your mind, okay? There's a new page builder out there called GroovePages, and it's been all over the internet. You've probably heard about it. You're hearing about it from me now. And the reason I'm bringing this to you now is because this has been in beta for several months now. And today's July 12th. It's probably going to come out of beta and go on sale within the next few days, on around about maybe the 15th of July. It's only 3 or 4 days from now, okay? When it does go on sale, it's going to be $497.
I'm going to speed you up, Dean.
Right now, this is literally probably your last chance to pick up the free. And I say free, I mean without a credit card, without anything, it's all your money at home, your credit card, you want, go click the link, you see the download video here, go check it out, sign up for free. You have a free for life, or go get any enhancements or anything to make to it, will come your way, again, free. There is one small limitation to it, with the full-blown version, you can make as many pages and everything as you like, as many sites as you like, you can build entire websites with this. With the free version, you get unlimited free sites, but you have unlimited pages on those 3 sites, so it's really not that much of a limitation. This is something that you really want to take a look at. What can I say, $497 a month versus 0, okay? Not only are you going to get GroovePages, you're also going to get GrooveSell and GrooveAffiliate. And I'm not going to go right now what those are. Again, if you click the button down below, it'll go over to a page where Michael Singh, the co-founder and current CEO of Groove, will explain everything much more, much more depth, much better than I can. And you'll also find a lot of information on that page about what you're going to be picking up for free, what you can pick up inside join. Okay, so thank you very much, and I hope this helps you out. Please don't hesitate. Don't do it on this anymore. If you're not on the fence, get off the fence because the fence is going to disappear pretty quick. Thanks a lot.
All right, cool. Now, I'm a person who, when I walk, I listen to audio at 3x speed. So I always speed up my YouTube videos and stuff. And so it's just a quicker way for me to consume it and give some feedback. So well done. It looks like you're pretty comfortable in front of video. So I like your confidence. I like that you were poised and you flowed nicely as the video unfolded. So the great part about video is it's simple to test, right? And you're going to get data out of 100 people that come to this. How many people are going to subscribe? And let me just check and see here. Okay, cool. Let me see what you did. Here you go. Okay, great. So love it.
Hi, I'm John Cornetta.
So good. So you did what I was hoping you were going to do, which is got the email address, right? For a second, I was thinking it was just going to bring it to the affiliate link, but it said subscribe and bonus. So I like how you capture the email address, which allows you to deliver the bonuses and allows you to grow the list. And you're going to now have a list of people that join, and then you'll be able to track that versus the people who joined or at least got the bonus, but then you'll see if they actually join, because now you have their email address and you'll see if what that percentage is. And then you might be able to communicate with them depending on how you're able to track the affiliates that, or the people that take action and join through your affiliate link. You're going to be able to cultivate and speak to, hey, Tom, I noticed you got the bonuses. Are you digging into them? What was the favorite part? Begin the conversation on a personal level. And hey, what'd you think about GroovePages? They have cool free trainings, and and tell your story, share your results, and sell your system. In communicating with them, and or possibly new iterations of the video, the trainings they have are from people that deal with multi-million-dollar companies, and I have a $1 billion client that I work with, and people invest thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars to learn from them. GroovePages not only gives you all that stuff for free, they give training that's unbelievable. And it's not just about how to use the software, it's how to think like a business owner, how to think like an entrepreneur. So you can add in all these different elements in communicating with the people that take you up on your initial offer to opt in. You're going to then be able to follow up and coerce them and guide them kind of psychologically, like we talked about in know, like, trust, but then also pushing them to take action. Wait, Tom, you didn't get GroovePages yet? Like, whoa, look, there's nothing in it for me for you to go get the free account, and have, if you do take the upgrade option, yes, I do receive affiliate commissions on that, but there's nothing in it for me. But the training that you're going to get, the free software you're going to get, is life-changing. So go get it, take a look. I know you're going to love it. Like, it's just a way that you can cultivate that relationship once they opt in, and then chat and communicate more on a personal level with those people that opted in. Did they join up as the free GroovePage consumer? And if they join for free, build that communication to make sure they're jumping on the trainings, which then leads them to eventually having a higher probability and propensity of upgrading to the irresistible offer. So a lot of what we talked about in today's training can be facilitated in the communication with the people once they take action here. So I like it. It's good. And my thing is, you don't have to get it right. You just have to get it going. I'm always about imperfect action always beats perfect inaction. So I commend you for taking action. And the greatest part about it is, from there, you can always iterate and test and improve and modify it accordingly as to what's working. Is this, and the data is going to tell you, is this getting the right amount of opt-ins? Out of 10 people that come there, how many are joining? How many are taking you up on this? And that's up to you. So the data speaks, right? So, and that's the other part that we didn't get to in the training today, but it doesn't matter how pretty or amazing we think an offer is or irresistible, the data tells us if it is or not. So out of 10 people going here, are you getting 3 opting in? Are you getting 0? If 0 is the case, we got to change something. If we're getting 3, okay, how can we get 4, 5, 6 out of 10 to join? Continual iteration. So it's always a starting point. Don't have to get it right. You have to get it going. Move as quickly as possible. There's a quote that says, if everything's under control, you're not going fast enough, from a famous race car driver. So I like it. It's good. And it's at that good enough stage where the data now is going to tell you, are people opting in? And if they are, awesome. If they're not, what can I do to get them to pay attention enough to opt in and get the free bonuses? All right, good stuff. Good deal. And I think we are good to go. David, any other questions?
So far, that was it. I didn't see any other questions.
All right. Well, David, I appreciate you answering all the questions in the chat while we were doing today's training. It's went a little bit longer than we normally do, but I think the value was there. So thanks for sticking around. And David, thank you for all that you do. And thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next week. Same place, same time. Chat with you soon. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.